While the ploughmen were at work on their tractors, a visitor to the match was Gerry Mallon from Kilmacrenahan in County Donegal. He was really hard at work ploughing the soil in a very different matter. His exhibition of working with a Loy spade dates back hundreds of years and created a great deal of interest. The work that Gerry does is backbreaking and was a reminder of how tough ploughing was in the days before the horse and the tractor arrived. After he had finished his row, Gerry told me about his interest in this type of work. Gerry, I was watching with great interest there what you were doing. Can you tell me what it was?
It's loy digging, as we call it here. It's the very earliest format of tillage in this country, which was done with a loy. There's old historians that would say that maybe they used the shoulder blade of a deer for what is a shoe in the end of this. How true that is, I don't know, before the Iron Age come into that, you know. But they're telling in this country it's Irish. I don't know, I would imagine come in from Scotland or maybe England some years ago. I'm just not sure on that, you know.
Now, is this your own design of a loy?
Well, it's the very most modern design of a loy in relation to the shape of it. I come from a ploughing family of a brother, Harry Mallon, ploughs in the world style ploughing, and being around himself and the Sims lads and everybody involved in Donegal, I took all their ideas to modify my own loy slightly from there were big, stronger, rougher loys years ago that were made for strength more than to suit the digging, I felt. So I've worked on it to give it the shape I want, to get the natural digging. And the natural digging, as you saw me digging earlier, I dig it out, I turn it over, and I'm not digging the whole bed up to dress it up or nothing. What you see is what you get. And I would like to see the judged on the same way of thinking, you know. So,
But this would normally been used for potatoes then?
Potatoes, and in the very early years, you see, the first thing you have to remember, even where we stand today in the lovely landscape that we have here, this would have been rushes and bushes and briars and everything that you could mention, because the land was very undeveloped away when this was used. So there was very little of planting in those years. So the bigger, stronger ones of these that was used for turning over rushy ground, whereas the ground wasn't so good, and they planted the potatoes then, so they did. The original way of planting anything, they turned up a row of sods that was done in late winter, so that when the grass against the grass below rotted, that was the fertiliser. There was nitrogen in the grass, and the grass was rotted naturally enough. It was like the manure for planting potatoes. This is the very most earliest type of ridge that I'm digging here. Ridges changed slightly in shape and ways they did things after that, and then of course the manure come on at a later stage that they planted underneath the rows of sods.
Is this like a hobby for you?
It's a hobby, and I'm one of about maybe 100 people that's left in the world doing this activity, because it's so old and the new generation's not as keen to take up this type of thing. I have 17 or 18 young ones digging in Donegal between the ages of like 10 and 16. My driven ambition with it was I was the tail end of a farming generation, whereby as if you're a young fella, even with the horse ploughs years ago, you wouldn't have been allowed to stand onto held the horse ploughs. You'd have been told to stay away, whereas you wanted to be able to be good at what the older generation were good at. So I've made loys, scaled them down in size to suit young lads that are at school, and there's a few girls digging as well. And with the coaching that I gave them, they have come out and proved that they're every bit as good as any adult at what I'm at here in the loy digging.
Well, you certainly created a lot of interest this morning, because you had a big crowd around you watching everything. So listen, Gerry, thanks for taking the time off, and I'll let you get back to your skilled work again. Thank you now.
Thank you very much, Dad.